What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the second live of Life with G podcast. Welcome to everybody. I see y'all in the chat. We are doing something a little bit different today because Miss Shelly Shell is not going to be here, but she is live in the chat. I'm a little sad about that, but I am excited to be here with Zoe and JR. So we're going to get it started the same way that we always do. It's your girl G, the Puerto Rican podcast princess, your favorite baby mama in the building. Oh, and belated happy Mother's Day to all y'all moms out there. And let's get it started. JR.
Hey, what's happening? It's your boy JR back at it again with another one. And this is for Shelly Shell out there, you know what I'm saying? I hope everybody got real calming and great spirits and all that other warm shit, you know what I'm saying? So what's happening with you?
Hey, and Mr. Zoe in the building.
What it do? What it do? UK checking in, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna get this popping. Let's go.
We're gonna get it popping. This is Zoe's first live. How you feeling?
Anxious,
Yeah,
excited, and
yeah.
nervous. You feel me?
And
But
nervous? No
yeah.
need to be nervous. Life with G podcast fan, welcome him in. You guys should recognize him from some pre-recorded episodes. So always good to have Zoe in. And yeah, like I said, Shelly, you are heavily missed, baby. Heavily missed. But we're going to go ahead and get it started. I know we're waiting for some more people to come in, but I'm really excited about this topic just because it opens the door for so many other side conversations and a lot of important topics to be discussed. So you guys already know I pick a lot of my topics off of TikTok, right? That's where it's at. That's where everything's going viral. We were going to discuss the Met Gala, but something recently started overshadowing the Met Gala Hunger Games phenomenon that was going on, and that is Mr. Jaq Lee. All right, he is a teacher. I forget what state he is out of, but he is a teacher who typically goes live on TikTok. He shares his different alternative ways of teaching and bonding with his students. And he recently came under fire because he was on live about 10 minutes left of class, all right? And he was letting some of his female students unbraid his hair. After the live, there was a lot of discourse in the live chat, so Mr. Jaq Lee took it upon himself to take a screen recording of said live and decide to represent himself. And we actually have the video here for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. JR, you want to go ahead and hit play on that video?
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Let's go ahead and get straight to the video, y'all.
Let's get it.
All right, look. I gotta say one thing though before we hit play on
Mm-hmm.
this dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
My man's got style. Big shout outs to the Kings out there, you know what I'm saying? My man's out there fresh as hell, you feel what I'm saying? Big shout out to the
You talking
King.
about Jaq Lee, the teacher?
Yeah, the man got a little sauce out there, you feel what I'm saying? Like he sauced up,
Okay.
so I just wanted a big shout out
Yeah,
to
yeah.
him.
He'll sauce up for sure. He'll sauce
Yeah,
up.
All
big
right.
time, though. All right. Let's press play.
And stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out and they all agreed. Number 2, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I wrote all of them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher. I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. In my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis. Symbiosis deals with the relationships between organisms. The type of relationship that I like to foster in my class is mutualism, or mutualistic relationship, which means both organisms benefit from the exchange. So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime and just time to just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students that feel safe and comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as an educator is be the teacher I wish I had grown up. I strive to be the teacher that makes my inner child happy, someone that my inner child will be proud of. I want to be the teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit. No further questions, Your Honor. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. You think this was inappropriate or people are making something out of nothing? And although you are entitled to your opinion, all I ask is that you be respectful. Thank you.
All right. So the volume was really, really low for me. So I had difficulty hearing. If any of you guys had difficulty hearing, basically he was treating it like it was a court situation. He was representing himself and he was saying all the reasons why he didn't feel like, contrary to the comments and the backlash he received of it being too intimate and sexual, etc., and so on, that it was not that he has just formed a really close bond with his students and that he was just forming a sense of community. And in community, this is one of the things that they can do for each other. So we do have a comment from Mr. Robert. Robert is faithful in the live chat, so we appreciate you. So his question is one that a lot of people have been asking. How can it be too intimate if it's a service that you could legitimately pay someone to do? Ms. Shelly Shell said true, but the relationship between a hairdresser and a client is sacred. That is true, and it also has to do with their age. I think also gender, of course, plays a big role in that as well. I don't think we'd be having the same conversation if it was a female teacher or if it was male students who were assisting a male teacher and taking down his hair. So fellas who are with me on this podcast, whichever one of you want to go first, I'm curious what your all's standpoint is on this after seeing the video.
Oh
You want to go
man,
first?
yeah. Let me go first. Let me go first, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, look here, Shelly. Because you're not here don't mean I'm not going to disagree with you. You feel me?
Here we go.
No, I'll play.
And it begins.
Nah, that shit is to me. This is what I'm saying when I say this is an attack on men. This is perfectly fine. He put all the steps in play to make sure this was perfectly fine, and instead of it being perfectly fine, they want to say this is too much or intimate or abusive in some form of, I forgot what they saying. What was it, G, that they're saying? That he's
Sexual. It's too intimate.
well, no, saying that like he's shaping these women or something. I forgot what the stupid shit.
Grooming. Yep.
Yeah, like a dog. Grooming. They
It's a real thing. It
But
is a
people,
real thing.
but this type of perception is ridiculous, though. This is a normal
Mm,
teacher saying, "Hey, students, we got some big stuff ahead. I'm gonna lead it from the front, and I need y'all assistance." And they said, "Bet, we got you, just like you got us. Like, this is cool." You know what I'm saying? So I agree with what he's doing. And I do think all children need love. And if he shows love as a teacher, that's a beautiful thing. Because I ain't get no love when I was in school from none of my teachers, though. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I get that. What about you, Zoe? How do you feel?
I mean, it's no secret the world we live in, you know what I'm saying? So I think that he knew the reaction or he had an idea of that reaction. I think he could have played more safer. But in our reality, he didn't do nothing wrong. You get what I'm saying? He really didn't do nothing wrong. It's not like he had a crazy mindset about it. He literally just wanted. If those girls at their age, I know Shelly says something about their age and all that shit. If those girls at their age were naturally like hustling and making money off of hair, that wouldn't have been a problem. And everybody would have still had something to say if it was a bunch of boy students doing his hair. Then they would have been like, what is he on for real? You get what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
So like if those girls were getting paid for it and that's their career, if they choose like, hey, if they was to walk up and tell the teacher, hey, I could do your hair, give me $50. Well, nobody probably wouldn't thought nothing of it. Like she does hair, like that's just what she does as a young entrepreneur, a young aspiring entrepreneur. But yeah, I think it definitely has to do with the fact that like he a black man, and he's having a group of young ladies take his hair out. There shouldn't be an issue with that, but you know how society go. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm. So I think this is interesting to me because I can definitely see both sides. I actually saw this unfold almost in real time. I wasn't there for the initial live, but I did see this episode, not episode, did see this TikTok video in particular, and it was going viral. So after I saw that, I did see his live that he went on. You guys, if you haven't been following this story, shortly after posting this video, it got even more attention than his live did. And he kind of, I feel like, got himself in more trouble by putting a magnifying glass on the situation. It probably would not be this amplified had he not chosen to make this a discussion piece. But he did, and he asked for people's opinions. And oh, did they give their opinions? So much so to the point where he is now under investigation and he is on administrative leave. I don't believe that he has been fired yet, although some reports say that he has been fired. That being the case, I did see the live that he did on his TikTok after being put on administrative leave. My personal opinion off of what I saw was it didn't sit well with me. At first, I felt like it was innocent. And then after seeing the live where he read messages from his female students where they were addressing him as bestie, saying that they loved him and they missed his presence and they just can't believe that this happened and they want him back in the classroom. How do you even have contact with your teacher like that? Why is a student, and I believe that they are in middle school, why is an underage child communicating directly with their teacher in like a closed message type of forum? Some people said it was text messages, some people said it was through social media. I just feel like it's a little too close for comfort. I can't say that his intentions were bad, but I can say that I feel like he has definitely blurred the line between professional and personal, and that is a concern for a lot of parents. So we'll take it to the chats for a moment. Wakeem Dunham said, I get it, but I'm damn sure not going to be okay with my daughters taking out a grown man's hair when they are there to learn. That's very true. What's up, Panda? Welcome to the live. Wendy Darlene said this is a totally gender neutral problem. People in a position of authority like teachers and their subordinates should not be close, not in close contact like that. Shelley said he's like a modern day Joe Clark, but the problem is the climate that we have in this day and age. Young girls are growing up way too fast, and there's a certain level of intimacy that can be brought. What's up, Ked? Welcome to the chat. Shelley also said it shouldn't be an issue, but the issue is while he is pure in his intentions, someone else will see this and try to duplicate it for other reasons. I can see that as well. His behavior is something that can be considered under the grooming umbrella, and that's the crappy part.
That's so That's so dumb. I'm so
Why is it? Why
upset.
do you say that it's dumb?
Elaborate.
Cause
Elaborate.
that look, I understand what people are trying to do, but this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Everybody had that teacher. You know what? I hope. You know what? Let's just go with what y'all say, and let's just make it completely work related. So when you go to your
Mhm.
teacher and you failed, I want the teacher to look. Matter of fact, your kids, when they go to their teacher and said, "Teach, I was real tired. I was up helping my mom, or I was up doing this, or I was at football practice, or I was all that other stuff." I want the teacher to look that child, specifically y'all children, in the face and goes, "Empathy, sympathy. Fuck all that shit. You here to learn. I don't care about no football. You here to learn. I don't care about what you was doing at home. You here to learn. Your ass get an F. You ain't finished it. You got an F. It ain't no makeup assignment. Fuck y'all. That's what I want the teachers to do now, because that's what y'all are painting teachers to be. Teachers are supposed to be somebody in the community. Definitely as males, that's what we want to do. Grow up,
See,
go back to our community, and plant trees. And y'all are trying to stop this man from planting trees just because students are saying my bestie. Who gives a shit? He didn't say
He
they're my
also refers
bestie.
to them. He did in that
you
video clip, and multiple times in his live. He refers to his students as his best friends. He even says, "I got 100
Good.
best friends."
Actually,
he
good
just
then.
in that
That's even
specific
better.
video. In that specific video, he referred to them as like he said, "I don't want kids, so these are like my children. These are my kids."
Even better. See
Like
what I'm
And
saying?
best
he
That's
literally just
friends.
true,
said that.
genuine care, and people are trying to demonetize it, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, everything a man does, y'all just gonna demonetize. I mean, y'all gonna, you know what I'm saying, make it demonic. That's just what it comes down to. Whatever a man does, make it
I
demonic.
don't think it's a gender issue though.
It's
I don't
Let
think
me
it's a
ask a
gender
specifically,
question
look,
issue.
though.
maybe
Let
not
me
there, but the comments all said, man. Somebody said, I want my daughter playing in a grown
if
man. Hey, like,
if he was a homosexual, would he have gotten that same type of backlash?
yes,
That
You
is a
think
good
so?
question. That is a
yes,
good
for
I don't
sure.
question.
think he would. If he was a homosexual, I don't think he would have got that
At
same
that
type of
point, then
backlash.
they'll say he's putting his ideologies and pressuring these children, and they'll come up with a whole nother narrative. It's always the same stuff. This teacher, as a
And
man,
I
has
get it.
asked for help. How many women pray, wish that a man would ask for help? How many women pray and wish a man would give a fuck? And then next, you know, he doesn't, and then guess what? He's a demon for it.
He's not asking other grown women. He's asking young, impressionable students.
Oh,
And
so
he
now
is in a
they're young
position
and
of authority.
impressionable. They're young and
So,
They
impressionable
are
now.
young and impressionable, regardless of
so
when
what?
they're walking
He
around
was
on
supposed
this
to go to the
earth, they are
teacher.
young women. The
He was supposed
young
to go
men
to
are
the
young
teacher
and
next door.
impressionable as well.
Then
Say it
who the
again,
hell
Zoe.
is their mama letting them look like this then with makeup on in class? Because he ain't put the makeup on them. So you give them
I
choices to do
couldn't.
whatever.
I can't see. I
Bro,
don't have my glasses on, so I don't know if
don't
they
play
got
with me.
makeup on or not. No, no, no. But
Nah,
honestly,
now
and
you
I think
blind.
that this feeds into it, though. I think that this absolutely feeds into it. So if we want to go there, let's fucking go there. Part of the issue is how over sexualized children are at such a young age now.
Parents' fault.
Even back in the day, I was born 93, okay? I'm a 90s baby. I can remember being in middle school, 6th grade, and hearing about other students having sex
You
or
old as
engaging
shit.
in sexual activity. So that's what I'm saying. Like, kids are already sexualized. Kids are already sexualized. They're doing it within their own group, their own community. They're showing up with the push up bras, dressed in the nines, hair done, nails done, makeup done. The boys are over sexualizing themselves as
Let me.
well.
Can
That's
I
why I
ask a
said I
question?
don't think it's a gender issue.
I really want to ask a question. I mean, please chat, please like respond if y'all got an answer. Should people stop being good people because of the internet,
Yeah, for sure.
or should people,
Okay.
or should people stop having pure agendas, like actually great intentions for the youth because of the internet?
Yeah, they should stop it. Honestly, they should. Because these people are ridiculous. If it was a group of
I
boys
feel
helping this man, a group of dreadheads or a group of braided dudes
That's what
helping
I'm
this
saying. He would
man,
have still
they'd be
got
like, look at
backlash.
these men doing it together. They
hold
wouldn't say
on
nothing about
one.
no grooming, none of that
Nah,
bullshit.
I think he would have got. I think he would have got backlash for that because
I
they'll be
doubt
like,
it.
"Damn, what is he trying to do to these men?" Not like that's what I'm saying. Like him being a black man, I don't think he would have won in that type of fight. I felt like yeah, he didn't care because he know his purity, but at the same time, like you do know what kind of world we dealing with. You know what kind of internet we dealing with. So why would you even play in that type of territory? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead, G. I know you want to say something.
No, because I just think it's interesting, and I know that a lot of people who are defending him, the default is that it's because of his gender or it's because of his race. And no, I don't think that that is the case. I think the same reaction would happen if it was
If
a
it was a
different
woman.
race or if it was a different
All right,
gender. Me
question.
personally, as a woman, I know men don't see it that way a lot of times, but as a woman, as a mother, even when I was in school dealing with male teachers and seeing female teachers interacting with male students, there were plenty of female teachers that I felt like got a little too close, got a little
Question.
too personal with the male students. This is
No.
an issue across the board.
Say, I'm
This is
Nah.
talking
an
about
issue
So
this,
across the
G.
board.
If it was a woman, a black woman getting her hair taken down by these kids, it wouldn't have no grooming crap. It wouldn't have no sexualization. It'd be go ahead, black queens, keep helping other black queens, all this
so
other
if,
So
if
bullshit.
if it was a black teacher, if it was a black teacher that had a whole bunch of male students helping her take her hair out, what kind of reaction you think that would get?
I wouldn't like that either. To be honest with you, let's take a moment to go to the
Honestly,
comments real
it'll rub
quick.
you the
Oh, sorry,
same
go.
way though. Like honestly, it
I
would really
wouldn't.
rub
I
you the
would
same
rub me
way.
the same way. I wouldn't. You guys got to. Okay, so when I first saw this clip, I saw it and I felt like people are dragging it. How he chose to defend himself and how has conducted himself since in that live, where he was basically telling people to get the f over it. They didn't understand what he was trying to do, and they must have never had a good relationship with a teacher. XYZ. The way that he carried himself has exasperated the issue. That being said, y'all can go see it for yourself because his profile is not private, and there are plenty of his other videos that are going viral with conversations that he's had with these other students. Conversations like, what type of women does he like? And that's an open forum conversation in the middle of class. Other situations where it's just a little too personal when it comes to the conversation. Are you teaching our children, or are we having a getting to know you session? Is this a 21 questions? Because you can relate to your students without divulging all of this extra personal information or talking about relationships or what attributes that you like on a woman as a grown man.
No,
And
you
those are
can't.
the things that I feel like people forget. You have to look at the person in totality. The way that he is showing himself, carrying himself in general with his students is very loose, very lax, and that's extremely irresponsible, not just for the kids, but for himself. Because of all the things that you have brought up, because he is a man, because society is the way that it is, and because of the color of his skin. Unfortunately, you have to be aware of those things and how to conduct yourself in those spaces to protect yourself and the students that you care about. I do want to take a moment to get in the chats. Shelly said it's society's fault. Ricky said TikTok and social media ruin it. I think TikTok and social media just raise awareness, honestly. Um, Kim said, nope, there are different ways to mold minds and to go about it. I agree. Wendy Darlene said, poor men, y'all are just good boys and no one understands. Oh my
I
goodness.
like
Shelly
Wendy. Shout
said,
out
I
Wendy
know.
real quick.
Shelly
Hey,
said, I know teachers that used to do their students' hair, but they no longer do it because of the fear of backlash when all they are trying to do is give confidence to said students. And Keem came back and said it's all about perception. No matter what, there are guidelines and policies, which brings up the gray area of what ifs and what could be going on behind the scenes. I agree.
That's G, I heard everything you said, right? And that shit is a boatload of crap. It is so cap. It is so cap. Completely. I get it, but the problem is we're always trying to sexualize something. No matter what it is, we're always trying to sexualize something as a whole. And
but
that
we do got
is
to be
the
for real
problem.
though, bro. Let me hold you real quick on that
Mhm.
one though, bro, because in our reality, there really are sick people for real.
Yeah.
So, like you can't ignore the fact that sexualizing things is real. You
Yeah.
do have to think to that extent. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't want to take the chance for somebody to really be sick, and you allowing your daughters to be taking their hair out, and they really do got malintent behind it. But
No,
coming,
shit.
like I said,
I'm with it.
so like I said, coming from okay, like I got a question. I want to throw that out there. It's the same type of
Mhm.
subject. It's the same type of topic. When I went to high school, it was a teacher. It was a teacher. He was specifically a reading teacher. He went to the strip club. Nah, he was teaching senior kids. One of the girls that was in one of his classes worked at the strip club, and he got a lap dance at the strip club while she's doing her job. Was he wrong?
Hell
He got a
no.
lap dance by her or by somebody else.
By her. He got a dance by her.
He's dead wrong. That's still his student. That's still his subordinate.
He's promoting her. He is
She's
supporting her
18.
career.
She
He's
18.
sexualizing her. He's
She
sexualizing her.
sexualized
If you
herself.
No. But this is where we talk about the difference between the person who is responsible for being the professional in this capacity. It's not the student. It is her. Yes, she's doing her job. He could have, if you really gave a fuck about that girl's well-being and you really gave a fuck about putting some money in her pocket, baby, you ain't even gotta do nothing. Here's enough money that you would have made for the whole day. Don't do nothing. But the fact that he actually let her do a lap dance,
Hold
are
on,
you
wait,
crazy?
time out. Wait, hold on. Whoa, you lost me. I was with you for a second, G. You lost me when you said that part.
If it was a matter
time
of,
out.
oh,
Nah,
you're
time
doing
out.
something and she wants money, then give her the money without her
So-
doing the lap
so what-
dance. I'm
what if
confused.
You want him to be a
What if-
simp.
What
How
if
did
what
he
if
get here?
what if that's what I'm saying.
I
You lost
want
me
a
with that one.
teacher and an adult who is an authoritative figure in her life to conduct himself. as
No,
such.
he's the way y'all want it. Y'all
went
want
to
him
the
to just
strip
work.
club.
So he just work there and be a teacher. That's what y'all want. Just
Nah,
work
see, now
there,
we're blurring
give them
the- No,
homework.
we're not saying just to work there. That's why
No,
is it that it has to
because
be?
teachers are held to that standard though. Teachers, it's so I know people that are teachers. You know what I'm saying? They're the way the school system is set up is like a teacher can't have a life. A teacher
not
can't do
true.
nothing. It's very true. A teacher
That's not
can't go to the
true.
bar.
At the end,
A teacher can't go
okay.
to the club. A teacher can't go out and do certain things with their spouses or date or whatever the case is and if they are doing it, they literally have to leave completely out of their range to do it because they don't want to run into a student or anything of that nature. They can't work like a teacher can't do nothing. A teacher limited. They can't do any extracurricular activity. I know a teacher right now want to make music and he can't because the school board may look at him a different way or whatever the case is. He has a specific persona he has to keep up. You can't do music.
You guys have to remember that depending on what business you choose as your career, you are agreeing to be a representation of that company,
That's
of
what I'm trying to say.
of that school, right? So if you are a teacher and that's what you chose as your profession, guess what? You are going in there eyes wide open. This isn't a secret. You know how you're supposed to conduct yourself. So we're gonna pretend like that's not a factor. No one put a gun to your head and say go be a teacher where you're going to be forced to uphold
let
a
me ask
certain
the question then.
persona
Well, hold
out
on,
in
Zoe.
public. They
I got-
chose that.
Rebuttal real quick for you, G.
Mhm.
That's what I'm exactly trying to say is that we need to take out the teachers who give a shit and get them out the way and bring in the goddamn drill sergeants. That's what we need to do.
That's
Bring in
crazy.
the people who
That's
going to
crazy.
Nah, for
specifically
real,
be
though.
on that. I'm
You're
work, and
acting
that's it.
like
No, you're trying to say
This
where's
is-
the happy medium? Fuck that happy medium. People, this ain't a unicorn fucking paradise. People are people. So guess what? They need trained teachers to sit there with no sympathy, be very stoic and no empathy, and get these kids in line then if that's the case. Because clearly they parents can't do it.
that's crazy. And I'm going to rebuttal that so fucking hard because what? Did you bump your head? There is a way to create a bond with someone without introducing physical touch. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are a teacher out there, there should be no reason why physical touch is introduced in your classrooms. I get a high five, something like that. Across cultures,
Gee.
across genders. Let me finish. Across cultures, across genders, doing hair is actually a very intimate act. Outside of this
Huh?
being your actual profession, doing hair is a very intimate act. And for those of you who know, you can sound off in the chat. It is a very intimate act. Does everybody see it that way? No. But for a lot of us, we do. I myself am one of those people. Unless you are a professional where you are certified to do hair, if you are playing in my hair and you are doing my hair, it's because I have a very strong relationship with you. Same, I don't do a man's hair unless we got a little something. And that's how that goes. That's how my mind works. That's how a lot of other people's minds work as well. You don't
I
have
could
to
see that because I don't
introduce
let
that
people touch my
level of
hair.
physical touch. You don't.
Mm-mm.
I could
Um,
see that.
Caring is intimacy in itself. So let's
Hearing
cut
is
all, yeah, let's
intimacy.
cut that intimacy out.
Absolutely.
Teachers got to stop giving a fuck. That's what I'm trying to say. Cut the whole
That's
intimacy out.
not.
Don't say you got to give a little bit of intimacy, not a lot. Oh, this. Fuck that. Cut it all out so we don't have no teachers getting fired, none of that shit. Because this black man, he probably ain't getting paid right now to support himself. So fuck that shit. Cut the intimacy out. Fuck these kids. They not my fucking friend. You don't get no retest. None of that shit. Keep your F and keep that shit pushing with your punk
So
ass.
you mean to tell me that there is no possible way for him to form a bond with his students outside of having them do stuff that has nothing to do with their curriculum?
So I'm gonna tell you this. I'm
There's
actually a
there's
substitute.
no way
So I'm a
that
substitute
he can
teacher.
create a good bond with them.
So I'm a substitute. I had to stop substitute teaching, but I'm a substitute teacher, right?
Mhm.
Well, I'm not a substitute teacher, but my job qualifies me to substitute at schools. And I went to this school and I'm trying to talk to these kids because I'm also a career counselor. So I'm talking to them about career opportunities and career goals, right? And every single student, every single one is just like this. So then I open it up for questions. You know what the first question I get? How is it to be to be career driven and still have time for your social life and have relationships? That's the first question I get. And then I'm like, well, it's an equal balance, blah, 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 blah. I spit out a bunch of jargon. And then another follow up question comes from a different kid, something about relationships. And another follow up question comes in, something about relationships. These kids are fiending for attention. They are fiending to be cared for by somebody. Parents ship their kids off to school. They just ship them off to school so then they don't have to deal with them. Babysit at the highest degree, and these kids are fiending for it. And when somebody like this man actually gives a fuck, they demonize that shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Fuck them kids. That's what I had to say. I had to say, fuck them kids. I ain't going back. I ain't going back. They might try. No, fuck them kids. I don't have time for parents, none of that shit. And I'm a very, very caring person. I believe he is
Mhm.
too. And I believe for all the other teachers that's kind of like him who give a fuck, who's not on that creepy shit. Hey, fuck them kids. Let them have these other whoever's. Don't give a shit. That's what I'm trying to say. Fuck, man. Fuck that shit. I'm rocking with him. I'm
Fuck
rocking with
them
him.
kids.
That's my dog.
Fuck them kids. That's
FTK.
Do you?
dog.
But you don't know him to be backing him like that, and I
I don't
think
give
that
a
that's
shit.
the important. But this is it's all about perception. As the comments have been sounding off here, as the comments on his lives and his TikTok videos, it's all about perception. And my guy, if you see this, you're doing it wrong. The way you are representing yourself, you're doing it wrong. This isn't about, to me personally, this isn't about what's wrong or right. It's about acknowledgement, right? It's about acknowledging what we've talked about, the state of the world, society, how sexual kids are. And let's get off him for a minute. Can we honestly say that all of these students we know aren't, I don't know, somehow transferring certain feelings or maybe have a crush on him? Is that in his control? No. But there's certain things that he can do to help lessen that. There's certain things that he can do to help avoid that. And introducing physical touch to that degree is one of those borderlines, one of those boundaries that he can set that's going to help these girls not accidentally put him in the place of, ooh, if I could just get a chance with Mr. So and so. How many of y'all had crushes on your teachers? Let's be real about it. Male or female, how many of y'all had a crush on a teacher?
They wasn't my teacher, but they was a teacher.
Okay. Right, had crushes on teachers. Now here's, and this is why I'm saying this. So you have crushes on teachers. Imagine how much more of a crush you would have if that fine ass science teacher was like, "Hey, gee, can you unbraid my hair? Now I'm playing in your hair. Now we got something in common. Now we got something we can talk about. Next chore, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day." You don't know what these kids are going through at home. You don't know how they're transferring these interactions either. So again, to protect himself, There are
G,
certain boundaries that you
you're
should be setting.
purposely taking it out of context and then putting it in the context you want. The context he
Don't
specifically spoke about. He said he had to do something which he let his kids know. It is not just, hey, come play in my hair, kids. It's I have to do something for the
and we all
school.
have something to do. He
Oh,
didn't have
don't
to
try to
do anything
generalize it.
for the
I'm talking
school.
about the
He didn't
video.
have to do anything for the school.
He
He
That
did
didn't
say
wasn't a
have to.
that.
video. He had to do a
Have these
video.
He did
girls.
say that.
He had to do a
He
video.
okay.
He did
Yes,
say
he
that.
was being filmed. Who told you to make your hair appointment immediately after class?
He said it was the last minute. They came last minute.
And you can reschedule a hair appointment.
I am not saying that he should have not rescheduled or none of that stuff. What I'm saying is this is so harmless that the people are throwing it out of proportion. And because they are, these people deserve shitty ass teachers teaching their kids. That's what they
I don't think
deserve.
so. It's all about boundaries. It's all about boundaries. There's a way to do this without doing that.
All right, then
And
what
we
do
all
kids
know
care
that.
about? What do kids care about? Because one, we got to talk about respect, which is fear and admiration, right? So clearly, if they respect this man, they admire him or fear him. So if we're going to say that, then what do kids admire then? What do kids admire that they would respect him at such a high level? And it's not just the girls, it's the guys too. All of them admire this
Yeah.
teacher. So for all
Yeah.
of them to admire the teacher, what is it that makes him so respectful? Or what are kids looking
I
for?
don't I
What are
don't know
kids, just in
him,
general, what
so
are
I
kids
can't
looking for?
speak on that. I think they're just looking for someone to talk to who doesn't judge them. To be completely honest with you, I think they're looking for a safe space to be able to communicate and say what's going on in their life without being judged and being offered resources to assist. And guess what? Ain't none of that has anything to do with you playing in my motherfucking hair.
Oh God,
None
there
of
you go
that
again.
has anything to do with me introducing physical touch. I worked in counseling. That's what I got my degree in. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and transference is a huge thing. The hero complex is a huge thing. They train us to make sure that you know how to interact with a person, have them open up, see you as a safe space, while also maintaining very strict and firm boundaries. So that way they don't end up catching any sort of feelings. I also worked with children who were in elementary school. So yeah, through sixth grade, I had to take them to their houses, bring them back. I interacted with their families. I saw these kids every day over the summer. Not one time did I have to give them a hug or anything like that for these kids to form a very close bond with me and respect me.
You had to put them in a
So
car.
all of that's unnecessary. I had to take them to and from their home for
Mm.
this summer program. That was
And
my
now nobody
internship.
said nothing about it. Nobody
I
said
was
nothing
never
about it.
alone with any of the kids. We always had two people in there. It was never a situation where it was just me and a student.
And
Never.
this man got
And
it
that's
right
another
on
thing
live
too.
TV, as if they're not caressing his face. None of that. They're right on live. Anybody can see it. Harmless as shit. But people are still blowing it out of
That part is
proportion.
on live. That part is on live. Those messages
He
that
also
those students
said he
send
also
talking about,
said
hey
he got
bestie, da 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 da. How often does that happen? Or is that a one-time instance that they got his phone number and are messaging him one-on-one? Or does that happen frequently? Again, we only know what we've seen. And that level of intimacy is just a little too much. And like I said, it's not necessary.
I see what you're saying. But I've been a leader my entire life. And my job right now, I am a leader. And I have a lot of people under me. And the stuff I do for these people, if I just left it up to just not giving a shit and just working, I promise you, they would all probably fail completely. But because I have a
Have you
responsibility
had
to
any of
uphold,
them do your hair though?
have I had one of my subordinates cut my hair? Yes, I have. I've specifically had
Well,
a subordinate
okay.
cut my hair.
Is that their profession or like
No,
is that a
they
passion
just
that they're
want to.
pursuing?
They said they want to be a barber. I told them, well, I need a cut. If you want to practice, you can go ahead and cut my hair. Let me see what you do. And they cut my hair, and I
Okay.
said that shit was shitty. And then I went to go get my own haircut. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with trying to support people who are under you grow and become
That's
better. But
different
because
though. That's
again, people
different.
sexualize people, this is what the outcome is when you keep sexualizing every single thing. That's what it is. And that's what they
Mm,
want to do. Teachers, people,
mm.
like I said, I
Hey,
found a solution. Can we come to agreement with the solution? Get rid
no,
of all
because
these type of
that's not
teachers
the
and bring in
solution.
the.
That's not the
Then
solution.
what's the
It's not the
solution, G?
solution. The solution is to know how to set boundaries and be a professional. That is the solution.
Okay,
Also, I
explain
think
the
we
boundary. What's the
in this
boundaries?
age of social media, sometimes it's better just to not fucking film it. Sometimes not everything needs to be shared.
So be
And
sneaky
that's
about the
another
shit.
thing too.
So be sneaky.
It's not even that, but I do have concerns on why on a forum such as TikTok you not only have like it's one thing to I've seen teachers have it to where their camera's going and you can hear the children but you never see them. You get what I'm saying? But to have these children on such a huge platform, I feel like that is also a disservice. And
He
if the
got the
parents
parents
co-sign
permit.
that shit,
Yeah. What's wrong with
I
that?
guarantee you their parents did not realize that their four daughters or whoever's children they were going to be now plastered over NBC News and CBS and all this other stuff, taking out this grown man's hair. I guarantee you the parents did not expect that to be the reality that they're faced with.
Yeah, it's
Not
not him.
everybody's talking about your kids.
Exactly. All the parents are cool. It's the other people who are outside saying, well, my teacher tried to touch me, or my teacher didn't let me get this, or my teacher who out there with past trauma and shit want to sit here and say, save those girls. The fuck out of here. That shit is
I really
ridiculous.
don't. And I'm speaking a little out of turn when it comes to this because
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. But I just find it hard to fathom or to believe that this was a last minute decision. It was done 10 minutes before the bell rang and that he got permission from every single one of the parents in that short of a time frame for these girls to be released from their class because some of them weren't even in his classroom that they got permission to go take his hair out. I just don't I don't know about that. I do want to take it to the comments for a moment. Shelly said it doesn't matter the reason. Once again, it's about the bigger picture, JR.
Then what's the bigger picture?
She trying to
I'm waiting on the bigger picture.
Keem said, bro, you low key got tunnel vision right now.
On what?
Panda Fatty, I love the name. Panda Fatty said, my dad would have beat my ass for real, for real. I agree. I
Your dad
agree.
would have beat your ass. He should have beat your ass if you came to school with makeup on as a middle schooler. He should have, but
I
you know
wasn't
what?
allowed to do
Probably
that
wasn't
either.
there. Not for you, Panda. But these girls, they probably don't even have a father then. If you're going out there
See,
with
that's
makeup on.
unfair to say. That's unfair to say. Why do you say that they probably don't even have a father?
Well, I'm just saying she's using it out of her own experience, very anecdotal argument, and I'm saying what the whatchamacallit is. So you're telling me it's not okay for these girls to literally help this man, their teacher, get his hair done for
Why didn't
something
he
important, and it's only happened one time that
it
he was
wasn't
desperately
important.
needing
It
help.
wasn't important. So to go
So
back,
now we saying what's important or not.
this is to go back just to set the setting, just in case it wasn't fully clear on the video.
Yeah.
He had a hair appointment I guess last minute or whatever the case was. They told him, "Hey, we're coming to the school. We're filming some sort of promo, something." So he wanted to look presentable for that video.
Yeah.
He could have rescheduled the hair appointment. Him undoing his hair and getting his hair done was not an essential thing. He didn't have something immediately after the hair thing. It wasn't for a school event that he needed his hair done. This is just a regular hair thing. And if his hair he felt like was good enough to be on a promo, then why not keep it in for an extra day and reschedule your stuff? I just don't. That's my thing. It wasn't an urgent need. He just did this shit because he fucking felt like it.
That's what
The
I'm
same way
trying
I
to
be telling
say,
my
G.
kids, I don't feel like turning on the TV. Go get that remote for me, even though I'm sitting right there. I just felt like it. It wasn't necessary.
That's
And
what
as
I'm
a
trying to
teacher, you should
say,
know better.
G. That it didn't matter that much. It wasn't all that important, but people are blowing it out of proportion. That's what I'm trying to say. This shit is nothing, but people are blowing out of proportion and want to say it's grooming and shit and everything else and above. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? This shit is nothing. Like you said, he was presentable enough to get there if it mattered. It's nothing. He didn't care. He was like, fuck it. If y'all want to help me out, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Help me out. This is cool. You know what I'm saying? Me, the teacher, with my students, this is how close all of our relationships are. We are a real class here. Like, y'all are my real kids. I'm gonna like help you write reference letters and refer you to places. And I'm gonna be here no matter what. If y'all ever need anything, I got y'all back. We don't want people like that in the children's life. That's what this is telling me. We don't want people like this in the children's life. And that is absurd. That's absurd.
I disagree. I don't think that that's the issue. I do not think that that is the issue. Zoe, I know me and JR have been going back and forth. Zoe, you
Nah,
got
I've been
anything
letting
else
y'all
to
have it.
say?
I've been letting y'all have it. Nah, cause I'm saying like, I mean, I see both sides of what you're saying and what JR is saying. Like I said, I think that he could have played on some safer territories, but um, I don't think he was wrong. Like, it's something about having it's something about having a specific connection with the students and to let them know that you are there for them. And no, it doesn't have to be to where like you're touching on them or caressing their face and all that. I ain't talking about like that. I'm saying that just having a relationship built with them. And that was part of the relationship. He was probably distressed to the kids, like, hey, I got this going on, that going on. I just had to plan for this, that. I still got to do this. I don't even got time to make it over here for that, this. And they're like, we'll help you take your hair out.
No, they need to stop that, Zoe. That's what I'm
Like,
trying to say. They need
you
to
get
stop
what I'm
that. He
saying?
need not to
Like,
talk to them about nothing personal whatsoever. Tell them this is your homework. This is your F, your A, your B. Hey, clap, bell ring. Everybody get the fuck out of my class. That's what needs to
You are
happen now.
taking it to such an extreme. You're taking it to such an extreme when I have experience. I
but
have
I
an
understand the
example of
extreme because
building a relationship without that.
there's a lot of great
How?
teachers that lost their job due to them really
Giving a fuck.
having that connection. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's
Give
a lot
me
of
an
teachers that really lost
example.
their
Give me
job.
an
I
example of a teacher who lost their job for simply and only simply giving a fuck.
this one
Give
right
me an
He
there.
about
example.
to
Right.
lose this.
He's on
Him.
administrative
He
leave.
about
And
to
I'm
lose
and
his
I'm
job
and
right
I'm
now.
and this is my thing. This is my thing. I don't think it's what he did. It's how he handled himself after the fact. It was the fact that he said,
How,
"Hey, I noticed this shit pissed some of you off. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna screen it and I'm gonna sit here and bait
no,
y'all.
he
And guess what?
specifically said
You
at
went
the end of it.
yes.
No,
He literally said,
at the
"Let me
end of it,
stir the
he
pot" at the
said
beginning.
no. He okay, but at the
Yes, he
end he
did.
said, "Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think I'm wrong? Just like everybody else trying to make it seem like I'm wrong." He said, "All I ask is that you don't disrespect me."
Well, I mean, you're asking on a platform full of billions of strangers across the world to be
Because
respectful.
because
He knew
the
that he pissed people off during the live.
anybody else was gonna blast them. I'm gonna put myself in the
That
forefront then. Like that was his mindset. I'm gonna put myself in the forefront. If y'all really think I'm wrong and this don't need to be happening, speak right now. Like let me know. Let me know I'm wrong so I can fix it.
But then he's doubling down. Was he actually open to that feedback? No, because everyone who told
I
him,
think he
"Hey,
was.
this could be seen as this, or this could be taken as this, or maybe
I think
in
he
the future
was.
don't do this," he was like, "Ugh, y'all must have not had a cool teacher, and it shows." Ugh, and you're
Facts.
completely disregarding
Facts.
you guys. He was completely disregarding the very real threat that a lot of these students face with people in authority. A lot of children face with adults in an authority position. If you were going to open it up and say, "Hey, what's y'all's feedback?" Why he represented himself. He gave his thoughts on it. Why continue to egg it on? Why continue to make it worse? Why continue to share these intimate conversations with your students? Why not just sit back and shut the fuck up?
Look, let me tell you something, right? And I need everybody else to hear this because this is the problem with the entire world. And it's some bullshit too. That's the problem with every single body in the world who don't understand this shit, right? With responsibility, you have the authority. Those are the two. You have authority, you have to take on that responsibility. So many people would rather have the authority and not have the responsibility. This man right here is in that fight right now where people are trying to tell him what he can and cannot do, should do, but they don't want any of the responsibility whatsoever. They just want to say it. None of these other people want to go out there and be teachers and really care. None of these other people want to give back to the community. None of these other people want to give a shit about any of these kids. But when they have somebody else to do it, guess what? They want to say, we want to tell you what to do and how to do it. We don't care how you reach these kids. Now they care how they reach these kids. That's the shit that is absolutely absurd. If you put this man in a position of authority, then you give him the responsibility in a discussion. And if this is what he wants to do with his responsibility, which is help these kids, create this type of safe haven for these kids, then that's absolutely absurd that anybody else want to come in here and say, guess what? I'm going to tell you how to do what you're supposed to do, but I still want you to take the responsibility. That shit's stupid. Anybody else that want to say he's doing something wrong, go out there and be a fucking teacher. Go out there, be a teacher to all these little badass kids with these dumbass fucking parents, and then you see what really gonna happen. You see how long you last.
See,
I done seen 5,000. Hold on, G.
I ain't
Hold
gonna
on, G.
lie
I done
though.
seen 5,000 videos of a teacher beating the shit out of a kid. 5,000 of them. Teacher beating the shit out of a kid
And
all
that's
over the
not
place.
okay
And they don't go on no
These students-
NBC News, none of that shit. But one man who give a fuck about any of these kids, guess what? Now he all over the place getting plastered and shit for giving a shit. Stop giving a shit
did it
about any
himself.
of these kids.
He did it himself.
Stop.
These
I'm not
did it
talking
himself.
about the after
He
effects.
chose-
Look at this video. That's the one they send it, not the after. I don't care about none of that other shit. This one right here is what
He's
caused
the
the chaos.
one who posted it.
Yeah,
He's
that's good.
the one who posted it.
He's trying to show
He's
other
the one
teachers,
who's
get on your
trying
shit. Stop hitting these kids and give a fuck. But you're trying to tell him to shut the fuck up and let all these teachers put hands on these kids and beat their ass. That's absurd. That's absurd.
That's a completely different conversation, JR. That
Is
is
it?
a completely different conversation.
I don't know,
Is
because
it?
some,
teacher being
some of these
physically
kids be
abusive
deserving that shit.
is a completely different conversation. It's a completely different conversation. And I also don't like the fact that you are automatically saying badass kids across the board and shitty ass parents or dumb ass parents. Who's to say that these children don't have involved parents? Who's to say that this man needs to
Statistics?
show up in the capacity that he's trying to fucking show up?
Statistics.
Who's to say that?
What are you talking about? College rates are lower than ever. A lot of other things are lower than ever. Like students' academic records are lower than ever. What are you talking about? Like, this is statistics. This right there is a firm example of parents not being in the-
So you think that if we just let him have this super bestie friendship relationship with his middle school students, that's going to increase all of the issues that you're talking
He
about?
said they
That's
got
going
their
to
work
improve the
done.
issues
See,
that
but you
you're
looking
talking
at,
about?
but you only looking at the relationship he got with the female students. What if,
No,
what
I'm
if
not.
he,
No, I'm
what if he
not.
got
No,
the
I'm
same
not.
exact
I
relationship with
specifically
the
mentioned-
with the male students though?
And if you guys were paying attention, and those who are in the comments as well, earlier I said that there are other videos of him having a conversation with his male students about the physical assets that he enjoys on a woman that he's trying to date. Do you think that that's appropriate in the classroom?
Yeah,
To
did
look
he
at
say-
a
did he
student and
say
be like,
tits?
actually, I like a girl with a big behind. That's a conversation you're supposed to be having. Could you imagine if the female teacher was like, man, I love a guy with a big package? No, that's not appropriate. That's not how you're
What?
supposed to be having discussions with your students. He's over here talking about physical attributes that he likes on a woman. If a woman were to do that with the male students, that's an issue as well.
So when you saying physical attribute, is he talking about how pretty she is?
No,
Is he
she's talking about, he
No,
said
I
he
just
like
told
fat
you, he
asses,
said that
nice
he
titties,
liked
and a
her
nice figure.
behind.
Yeah.
I do want to take it to the comments for a moment. Shelly said, you have to plan for the negative what ifs. Keem said, it's nothing, but it's nothing till it becomes something. That's the major what if in all situations. Wendy Darling said, so if this wasn't a big deal, but someone else may have bad intentions, we don't take measures to protect the kids. It's too much trouble to have boundaries to protect a child from being abused. Literally, that's what I'm saying. You need to.
You're clearly not
have the
saying that because I'm
boundaries.
saying
This-
that.
No, you're not. You're saying
Yes, I
that
am.
it's either let him form a bond however he wants to form a bond and don't demonize it until and this is the thing, because I saw a video on this that was like, we're having the wrong discussion about this teacher. It's not about what his intentions were. It's about perception. It's about transference. It's about opening the door and creating an environment where something like that could happen. That is what we're fighting here. It's better to be proactive. What do you say all the time, JR? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't that what you be
Get the
saying?
drill
Okay, so
sergeants
he
in
needs to be-
here. Take that shit all the way
it's
out.
not about the drill sergeants. What
So
are
you
saying?
are you going
It
to
does not
personally
have
train
to
every
be
single
that
teacher?
extreme.
Are you going to personally train every single? So you tell me they got to have a counseling degree, a psychologist degree to be a teacher? Because if not, then we're not going to have enough teachers. So by itself,
That should
if somebody
be
wants to
included
be
in a teacher's training.
okay, well then
That should be included in a teacher's training.
then we can agree on that. And then there's going to be less teachers, which is going to make more. They should make more.
Why would that be less
we
teachers?
we can revamp the entire thing. And if we do, their kids are not going to fuck with them. I promise you that. Kids are not fucking with
Why
that
would
shit.
we have less teachers if we incorporate knowledge of how to appropriately interact with your students?
Oh God, would you read that from a book? That shit don't work. That shit don't work.
What do you mean that doesn't work? What do
shit-
you mean that doesn't work? It
That shit
works.
don't
Let me tell you
work.
something. I talked to
It works.
200.
Where did y'all?
I'll tell
guarantee
you,
y'all
my
the ones that
credentials right
probably
here.
was trying to smash your teacher, and that's why you talking about
No,
boundaries don't
no.
need to be.
I
needed,
talk to
and
200 students a day. Do you understand
Man.
this? 200 students a day. I promise you, talking that professional bullshit has never gotten through to none of these students. But when I sit there and I'm myself and I'm like, nah, man, don't even, man, nah, nah. This is what you should be looking at. Look at this stuff. And I'm myself and normal, not look here, student. What you need to do is A, B, and C, and D. When I'm myself, they're like, yo, like when I go into the school, yo, what up, twin? I'm like, hey, what up? How you doing though? Did you do the whatchamacallit with the John with the hair with the John?
That's
And they be like, yo, I'm
different.
like, what I'm saying is I can
That ain't
relate to
different.
this guy. And the reason why is because intentions do matter. The problem is people want to
Yeah.
take out the intentions. Intentions matter 100%. They add context to everything. If I sit here and say, yo, you bad. Don't you want to know what my intentions are? Because then it can be perceived as disrespect or respect. And now it's going to come off of how you're going to respond to me. Intentions matter. But the fact is people don't want to add the intention in here. He painted the picture through all of his lives. All of his intentions always been there, how he has been to communicate with these kids. But now they want to throw it all out the book and say, nah, the intent don't matter. Intent don't matter. Nah, this is ridiculous. This man is
So because he
100%
hit the
clear.
algorithm. He already had a decent following, all right? But what he did, like I said, was exasperated. That's why the other videos didn't get as much fucking backlash because typically, and the same thing goes for my TikTok. Shit, it goes for our podcast right now. The 108 subscribers that we have, they are all here because they fuck with us. They fuck with us heavy. Right. So we haven't gotten to the place where we get the fuck you, you fat motherfucker. What you talking about? We haven't reached that. But the day that we do, because I'm gonna speak it into existence, we're gonna have those haters. We're gonna have those people that come out the woodworks and say the most outlandish, off the wall, crazy ass shit. But the
So
issue
with
here
that
is
being
it's
said,
not
should
outlandish.
we
It's
stop?
not. Go
With
ahead.
that being said, should we stop pushing what we want to push because the haters or the people that's gonna always have something
No,
negative to
no, no,
pick out of
no. That's
everything,
not what I'm
all the
saying. That's
conversations we
not what
have.
I'm saying. Absolutely not. But there are certain things that we already have in play for the day when we do reach that following to help avoid certain situations, certain words that we're not going to say, certain topics that we're not going to talk about because either we don't have enough education on it or it's going to stir the hornet's nest too much and we would just rather not so those things are in play. That's what I'm talking about. You need to plan. You need to know your responsibility as being a public figure, and when you are dealing with impressionable youth, you have to be extra, 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 extra careful. Whether you are a coach, a teacher, a volunteer, a substitute, any of that shit. If you working at your local church, any of that shit, you have to be extra careful, extra meticulous. That is part of the responsibility when it comes to dealing with other people's children.
You're probably
Point
right.
blank, period.
But I still
I
think my
do.
solution is good though. I still understand what you're saying. I do understand where you're coming from,
It
G.
shouldn't be team fuck them kids though. It should. I don't think it has to go to that big of an extreme.
Well, then fuck them
I
parents
will
too.
say, Kim said you can't say nobody is willing to take up that responsibility. So you saying none of the bad teachers are being outed? Kim's asking you a question. Are you saying that none of the bad teachers are being outed?
No, I think they are still. Yeah, I had again going to school, talked to this one teacher. She just got fired. Why did she get fired? She got fired because they said she slapped a student. Right? I'm like, damn. You know what? I thought she was
Mhm.
gonna slap one of these students too because I almost put my hands on a couple of them myself because these motherfuckers are reckless. And I thought, well, oh well, she got fired. That's all I said. Fuck it. Oh well, don't give a shit though. But everybody loved her so much. It was just that little couple bad apples that pushed her buttons, and she didn't even slap them. The video showed that she did put her hands on them, but she did not slap them. She moved the student out the way with a mush. You know what I'm saying? Because the student was stopping her from going into her classroom. She's a very hard
Mhm.
head. Like she's she's assertive. There we go. She's assertive,
Mhm.
and she mushed this student out the way. And then his parents filed a investigation, all that other shit, and then she got fired for slapping a student though. And she was beloved
See,
by all these students, all of them. She never her thing was she had her attendance. She never had a kid skip her class. She was, I think it was like one of two teachers to never have a kid even skip her class. She was very firm, and she's gone. She's gone out of that school completely. I don't see her. I go to that school once a week, and I never see her. And you know what?
Mhm.
That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Because guess what?
It is
Fuck them
sad.
parents and fuck them kids too. That one bad
But
apple fucked it up for
this
everybody
is the
else.
thing. You have to take accountability. You have to take accountability,
Oh
and you
yeah,
know
for
what you're
sure.
doing. In any professional setting, putting your hands on somebody, whether it's a
No,
subordinate, your coworker, whatever the
no,
case is, that's not okay. And matter
no.
of
I don't
fact,
agree with that.
one
I
of
think that it should go back to the way back when teachers used to have a paddle and beat these kids. Because if
oh
you're gonna
fuck
give me the
that, fuck
authority as the
you.
parent,
What?
so what? So I'm responsible for
What?
the kid's
I
safety.
don't know.
I'm responsible, but I don't have the
What?
authority to tell the kid what to
Are
I
do.
think
you
I
seriously?
Time out.
Yo, oh
Time
my
out. Time
God.
out. Time out.
Somebody
Time out.
timestamp this
Time
shit
out.
because we gonna make this a fucking clip. I want you to say that shit with your chest. You're saying to me
Yeah.
that you think that we should give teachers permission to put their hands on our children?
I'm trying to say that if you're going to give me the responsibility of the child's safety, then I should have the authority to tell that child what to do. That is what I am saying. And if they do not listen, they must face disciplinary actions. Disciplinary actions.
They call those write-ups, suspensions,
See,
detentions,
and that's why kids are as
expulsions.
degenerate as they are
that
now,
shit don't
because ain't
work.
no whooping on that ass. Because the
I'm
parents
gonna tell
clearly
you
ain't
right
doing it.
now. If a
That shit
The
teacher,
don't
I
parents
work.
don't
clearly not
care.
doing
If a
it.
teacher is putting their hands on my baby, I don't care. I don't care what my child's
Mind you,
behavior
mind you,
is.
mind you,
You are
back
not going
then
to
it was
assault my
with
kid.
mind you, back then it was with the parents' permission.
Yep.
You know what? And there was a lot of ass backwards ass shit that happened because a lot of those teachers that were sitting there using the paddle and shit were going overboard, and it was absolutely abuse. And that is a whole different rabbit hole that I am scared to get into as far as discipline versus abuse.
I
But as
don't
far
know.
as giving a stranger who I don't know their temperament, I
Oh,
don't know their
now,
tics, I
so
don't
the
know any
stranger's
of that
I don't
responsible
know.
stuff,
for your
I don't
who's
know.
child's safety.
overstimulated.
My mama
Let
used
me
to
tell you
tell my teachers
something.
they could beat me.
Open
So
house don't work.
I
Y'all
don't
don't have an
know.
open house at the school. You can't go
Oh
meet the
my
teacher.
God.
I'm
Listen,
saying like,
listen.
and mind you,
Just
we are dealing
because
with a
you're a
lot of
teacher,
fucked up ass parents for real though. It's really a lot of
I
fucked
mean,
up
but
parents
that's
that their
okay.
kid could walk in the classroom and slap the teacher in the face, and if the teacher
And that's
slap them
not
back,
okay. And that teacher,
the parent
that student
themselves
needs
are
to be
gonna
dealt
come.
with.
The parent themselves are gonna come to the school and raise hell at that teacher, not the
You don't
fact
know
that that
that.
student
We
walked
don't
in.
know
I'm
that for
telling
sure. We
you,
don't know that,
that
but we don't
happens.
know that for
That
sure.
happens
Nine
all the
times out of 10, that's
time.
not happening.
Time out. Time
Nine
out.
times out
Yes,
of
No,
10,
10 times out
the
of 10 that
parents are not
happens.
being supportive of their child doing that. You guys are
What?
talking about an extreme. 9 times out of
No.
10, no parent is going to come up here. Parents who aren't actively involved and they're not doing parenting correctly, and this is my opinion, are the ones that are gonna come up there and blame the teacher and do all this other stuff. But if you're parenting your kids right and you are conducting yourself and you're providing a good example, your children should not be out here slapping nobody. And
But
if my kids go slap a
there's a lot of people
teacher,
ain't parenting right though.
okay, but that's a misnomer. They're the teachers. Okay. The parents not doing their job to parent does not give an excuse to the teachers to then be like, since your mama didn't whoop your ass, I'm finna whoop your ass. What are we talking about? No, there are different measures of discipline. That student will be sent to
Thought I
alternative
had my
school.
belt.
That student will be
I'm trying
he'll
to
be in
tell you.
detention. He'll be expelled. All of that stuff. We're like, that's crazy. That's crazy to say that that is even valid, even remotely. See, look at
Alright.
you with the bell. What is wrong with
Alright.
you?
I'm
Alright.
just
What is
saying.
wrong with you? So
I'm
this
just
is
saying. And this
so
shit
if I
thick too. Look at that
say
bitch stand up.
if I'm sitting here saying that teachers need to put boundaries, right? So that way it can't be seen as too intimate. And y'all are telling me that that's crazy for me to even say that shit. But y'all are co-signing teachers putting their hands on students.
No,
Now I
see,
see where the problem is.
but doing getting my hair done is too intimate.
It's unnecessary. Get your hairdresser to do it. Do it yourself. Get the other
But he
Well, then
adults to
when the
specifically
do
kids
said
it.
he
come in
didn't have
there,
time.
but when the
So
kids
now
come in
question.
there,
Now
make sure he
question.
tell the parents, hey yo, teach them.
Say he was telling, like I said earlier, what if he was already talking about how he didn't have time to do his hair and all of this shit is going on, and one of those students will be like, hey, I'll help you take out your hair, and then 3 more was like, I'll help too, and he was like,
No, it's okay.
fuck it.
You act like he
Oh,
can't say
come
no.
on.
You act like he can't say no. It's all right. I didn't have time. I'll just
It's a
reschedule.
good deed. Students was doing good stuff. The teacher was supporting and then they make it to this bullshit and now they want to talk about say no. Say no to help. I know what? I hope every man say no. All men
These
say no
kids, he
to all
was
these women.
complaining about his hair, and then the kid said, "Oh, let me help you," and then he was like, "Oh, okay." That's not how it went. He had a need, and he specifically said that I can get some of these kids. According to him, he asked the other teachers ahead of time for even students that weren't in his class when the bell was about to ring. Can you excuse so and so only if they have all their work done to come take my braids out? This was calculated. He
He
had
even
plenty of time.
he
He had
prioritized
plenty of
work.
time.
That's crazy. He even
Oh my
prioritized work.
God. Y'all,
I hear what you're saying, G. You're not wrong. All right, you're not wrong. It's just your solution is bullshit. But you're not wrong in
your
your
solu-
concern.
my solution is
My
bullshit.
solution
To
would
set healthy
100% fix
boundaries.
this problem. My solution will 100% fix this
Get
problem.
out of
Your
here,
solution's like
man. We gonna
it's
have
up
to
there.
Hey,
agree to disagree because you
hey,
talking
I
crazy
mean,
right now.
I ain't gonna lie though. I can't say it 100% fix the problem, but it might help a little bit.
What?
100%. Man, these
What would help a
motherfuckers,
I
little
don't know
bit?
about 100%, but it might help a
them
little
drill,
bit.
What would
them,
help a little bit?
you put them drill sergeants in that bitch. You put a
All right.
Yeah.
goddamn.
One of them teachers put their hands on y'all kids, and I'm gonna see how y'all gonna react. Cause it's not gonna go
He
that way,
said the
and
drill
y'all know
sergeant.
it.
He was talking
Y'all
about the drill
aren't gonna
sergeant.
be okay with it. No,
He
but
was
y'all
talking about a
also
major pain.
he
He was talking
brought
about
out
put a
the
major
bell.
pain in the class.
No, and that's not how we do it. That's not how we do it. And I will say this: you always say that respect comes out of fear or admiration. I
Yup.
disagree. Fear is fear. Fear is fucking fear.
Nah,
Fear
Yeah.
fear
is
bring
fucking
respect.
fear.
Fear
Nah, nah,
bring
nah, 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 nah.
respect.
Y'all
Thank
got it
you.
fucked up.
Fear
Y'all
bring
got it fucked
respect.
up.
I'm
Y'all got
telling
it
you.
fucked up.
You ain't gonna disrespect somebody you
Nope.
scared of. Fear bring respect.
You're not gonna disrespect somebody you're scared of.
Yup.
You're
Facts.
just gonna
Fact.
lie to them. You're gonna
Fact.
lie to
You ain't gonna
them.
lie.
You're
You ain't
gonna
gonna
lie to
disrespect them.
them.
You ain't
You're
gonna
gonna
disrespect.
lie to
If you
them.
scared of them, you ain't gonna disrespect them. You gonna let that motherfucker do whatever the fuck you want to do, or
You're gonna
she do
let him
whatever they want to
think
do.
that you're gonna let them think that they're in control while you over here doing shit and you're just not telling them. Let's be
Nah,
honest.
you gonna be scared to do shit. You gonna be scared to do
No.
Y'all,
shit because you
y'all
gonna be
speaking
scared
a
that they're
lot
gonna
of
catch
y'all
you.
are speaking a lot of absolutes and y'all solutions to this because I said boundaries. Y'all are going to an extreme, but I'm out of pocket. I'm wilding. I'm doing too much. That's crazy to me. I do want to take a moment to get to the comments. Wendy Darling said they are trained. That's what they are learning in their degree. He was taught better. I agree. Keem said in that case, it's on the school board to do a real investigation and keep her on board. Talking about the teacher that you were talking about, local government at its best. Your solution would make it worse. Jr. Half the drill sergeants can't even get a job. Fear brings envy and hatred. I agree. Fear does not equal respect.
Let
Nah,
me tell you something.
My
fear
opinion.
do
The
bring
reason
respect. You
why I
ain't gonna
feel like
disrespect
this,
somebody you scared of.
because like I said, I go to these schools, I talk to these students, and I talk to a lot of these teachers. And I promise you, I swear to you, the teachers that get the best results from their students, I'm talking about discipline. They get respect from their students. They get actual effort from their students. All of them could be this exact same guy. They could be in this exact same predicament. Each and every one of them. Each and every one of them. The ones that I respect the most out of teachers to actually give a fuck. They could be this exact same guy. I promise you. Even one of my homies sent this video to me because he's a teacher. And he was like, bro, I would be in his same stuff. These parents, these people who don't deal with these kids don't understand what it takes to actually impact a child. They clearly don't. And this is what I'm talking about when I say this is absolutely absurd that we're even having this conversation about this man grooming or whatever it may be after he already showed intent. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
He
Nah, I
said
don't think
his
he was
intent.
grooming them though.
We
I don't think he
haven't.
was
He
grooming them.
hasn't proven anything, which I think is why this is still under investigation. Because, like I said, there are other videos that have surfaced of him having certain conversations that are not the most appropriate for you to be having with your students. In a lot of people's eyes, y'all can disagree, and this is going to be one of those topics where we're not going to get to a consensus. This is not going to be a kumbaya. This is something that all of us will encounter. All right. A lot of us have children. I pray your children don't encounter something like this
I hope
to
they
where
do.
it's this big scandal and it's stressful and shit like
I
that.
hope they
I
find
hope they
somebody who
don't.
cares
I would
about
rather
them
just not.
just as much as I do. I
You
hope they
can care
actually
about
find
somebody and
somebody
still
who
have
cares about
fucking
them.
boundaries.
Hey
Where
Jr.
is
Hey
that
Jr.
fucking law?
My
Jr.
child,
You
my
got
child can play in
you
my
got
hair.
kids?
I
You got
got
kids,
kids.
Jr.
Yeah, I got a
You got
bunch of
You're
them.
daughters?
her
Yeah,
father.
I got
You
You're the
got
daughters too.
daughters?
father, though.
So
That's a different
if she was
relationship.
14,
It's not a
if she
sexual one, is what I'm saying.
If
It's
she was
not a
14,
sexual
But
relationship
you
whatsoever.
have a different relationship. You have a different
I don't think
relationship
that
because she
matters.
is from you.
He
Oh
She
just
well,
is
yeah,
said
from
that
these are
part.
you.
his kids. He's saying that's the way he looks at it. Isn't that the
And you know
point?
what? And
Is
he
what
needs
he
to
looks
go to
at it?
therapy because those not your kids. Those not your kids.
But
Those are
so
not your children.
I'm
And
not.
he did not make those children. You are there to be a role model,
Okay,
absolutely. You
okay.
can
So,
love them as
but
children,
why would he not love them?
absolutely.
Why would he not love them like they is his kids?
Probably deal with them more than
Because there
their
is a
parents do.
different
Real talk
relationship.
though, like he probably really do deal with them way more than their parents.
Probably
Some of their
do. But nah,
parents.
he can't have no
Let's talk
feelings. Fuck all
about
that
because
shit.
y'all have mentioned this multiple times about how parents just send their kids off to school. Y'all understand that the way that the economy is, most of the time both parents have to go to work, and even
Yeah.
like that, they can barely afford it, right?
Yeah.
And
That's a
sending
choice.
your child to school is a requirement by
Also a choice to
law.
have
We don't
children.
really have a choice.
You
We
had a
don't
choice to
really
have a
have a
child.
choice there.
By
Yeah, you
having
had.
choice to have a
Oh
child,
my
then
God,
you're
fuck
supposed to be the one.
off.
Don't you start that one with me
I
because I'm
don't
not
think
gonna
I
let
have
people get away
said
with that.
fuck off enough. See, I don't think I've said fuck off as many times as I have in this very motherfucking
Jr.
room.
bro, my
Fuck
bad.
off. What are
Listen,
you
bro.
talking about?
Jr. You be tripping me
No, because
out.
don't you bring that up because if you bring it up, I'm telling you right now, my kids they just happen to be homeschooled because there are some crazy teachers and stuff, so they're homeschooled. So guess what? Because they're
Because you can
homeschooled,
afford to
that's
do
my
that.
it's my authority, my responsibility of their safety. So that's what comes down to it. I have the authority to say how am I going to protect
But
you?
you can afford that. Not all parents
Yeah,
can
because I
afford that.
planned my kids. I planned
Not
them
every
my way.
no, and I'm
That's
gonna
my choice.
respectfully, you are trying to speak for the mass majority, and most of
No,
the we have planned for children. I planned for
no,
children.
you're
You
not
know
listening
what
to
I
what I'm saying.
didn't plan for? Divorce and ending up being a single mother.
I
And
all
even
what
if
I am
I
trying to
was
say,
still
those are
married, and
choices.
even though I planned for these children and I knew that they needed to go to school, that doesn't mean that okay, because I planned for it, I'm going to, by the look of God or whatever you want to say, have the funds to be able to sit here and homeschool my children.
That's not
It
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
work like that for
That's not what I'm
everybody.
saying. That's not what
It
I'm saying.
doesn't work like that.
I'm telling you, for everybody, every single person in the world, it is a choice, unless it's illegal. Then, if it's illegal, then I'm not going to point that out. But in most cases, which is like 90+% of them, it is a choice. So, generalizing it, it is a choice. And because it is a choice, like buying a car, it's a choice. All because you're the one that picked one that has a 30% APR and have to pay $1,200 a month. That's your choice. You can't blame
It's not,
other people for the
no, that's
APR.
not
That's
how
your
it
choice to
works.
buy the car.
That's
So it's the
not how
same.
it works.
So you telling me you didn't choose? Not you, but like people out here having kids, they have no choice. The government said you have to. You're born, and guess
Hey,
what? You just
I
get
had
pregnant.
I had
That's
I
not.
had an
That's a
English
choice.
I had an English teacher that said if you don't want babies, don't have sex. She said that every
And
day
how many of y'all are
faithfully.
following that?
That's what I'm trying to
And
say.
how many
It's a
more? That's
choice.
exactly that's the point.
So with this guy, it is a choice when they send their kids to school. That's a choice.
No, no, nope.
I feel like a
Yep,
GTA
because
character right now.
I am trusting that this school is hiring responsible adults who know better, and because they know better, they do better, and that's it.
No, you're right.
Again,
I wish
nobody
they
told
do.
them
That's
to
why I'm
be
telling them to
teachers.
hire different.
Fuck that shit, man. Obviously, we're not going to get to an agreement on this. This was a very hot topic. It's going to continue to be a hot topic. I encourage you guys to go to his page, check out his videos. Let us know your thoughts. If you didn't make it to the live chat, go ahead and comment on the YouTube channel comment section and let us know what you think. There was a lot of heavy language, so I do apologize for that. And this topic can be triggering for a lot of people, so I apologize for that as well. However, it is something that needs to be talked about, and I appreciate each and every single one of you for showing up and helping us have this conversation. I appreciate JR. I appreciate Zoe for coming in the chat. And even though it got a little spicy, I definitely respect and admire you both. I don't fear you, but I do admire you both. All
You gotta be
right.
scared of
And
me,
on
Got to
that
be
father.
one of the
note,
two.
You gotta
Got to be one
respect
of the
me.
two, G.
on
You gonna
that note,
respect me.
My lasting thought that I want to leave you guys with is just be vigilant. Be vigilant. Teach your children to communicate openly with you as your parents. Be vigilant about who you have around your children. Practice discernment. Try not to be too triggered by things. I do strongly encourage people to really look at all the facts and know who you're talking about before you start to make assumptions. And I hope that if he is completely innocent and his intentions are pure, and I do genuinely believe that his intentions were pure, that he does get his job back and he gets to continue to build a relationship with these kids. But hopefully, this was a lesson learned. And y'all be responsible. Be responsible. Shelly said JR is wrong. And that's my outro. Y'all got any lasting thoughts?
Yeah, man. Fuck them kids.
Oh my God, no. Life of G podcast does not support this message. We love the babies.
Hey, nah, I'm playing. Nah, I'm playing. Nah, for real though. I just like I said, man, y'all make sure y'all play on safer territories. You know how the world operates. You know how the internet operates. So you really do gotta pick and choose your battles and what you really want to deal with. And you know what it's gonna come with. So you just gotta be willing to take that on. So
Great.
Oh,
Come on, JR.
Jesus.
I know you got something to say. Little razzle
This
dazzle left.
y'all gave me now my nigga Zo though. What's up, Zo? My dog.
what
You know what
happening,
I'm saying?
dog? Yeah, fuck them kids.
FTK. Hey, real shit though,
Wow.
man. Y'all gave me a motherfucking aneurysm right now, nigga. That shit fucking hurt, G. You hurt, bro. You hurt. Hey, look,
I'm
look,
sorry.
people. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. I don't operate off of like that little stupid shit. I don't operate off of the what ifs. I don't operate off of none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I operate off of what is. And what I see is it is what it is. I don't operate when people sit there and say, but it can be and all this other stuff. Like, nah, I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, they would have had more problems come up way before. So I just tell people all the time, if you really want to make change in your community and stuff, this is the type of risk you have to take. You're gonna have to take some of this backlash. You're gonna have to take some of this type of like, I don't want to say language, but these type of attacks at you. You really have to take it because at the end of the day, if being a pillar in your community is more important, then it is what it is, what people say. And that's one thing I'll say he did wrong was his response to a lot of the stuff. He didn't really say it as like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm gonna do what I need to do no matter what. He kind of said it like all y'all wrong for seeing that way. All y'all, you know what I'm saying? He tried to defend himself when ultimately you don't need to defend yourself if everything you're doing is right. You know, so he don't understand that yet. He probably a young teacher and he needs to learn that, even though his intentions could be true, it could be right, and I still do believe so, that he does need to learn that part right there, which is you don't have to fight everybody. And I don't argue with kids. And a lot of these adults, they kids, and I don't argue with them neither. So that's for you, Shelly, little grown ass little baby. Look, I swear to y'all, man, I'm not arguing with kids.
What
So
is wrong with you?
nah,
The beef.
Shelly pissed me off. I wish she was
Shelly
up in this
pissed you
bitch.
off.
Hey, just
come at
know on
her
the
ass.
next
Hey.
episode, it's war.
Hey,
It's
the
war.
right. The
Just know
gloves are
that.
off. Ding, ding,
The
ding,
glow.
ding,
Oh,
ding.
Yeah.
But honestly,
she gonna come strapped and ready
Gee, I'm
for
gonna be
you. Just
honest.
know.
Look, I gave y'all like a nice little 30% because this one was a touchy one. So I gave you 30%. You
I
know what I'm saying?
know.
If you give me on some real touchy
Okay.
shit, and if I get up to like past 50, oh, it's
I feel
go
Nah,
like
time.
a
I
vein
don't
was
know,
popping
dog.
out of your
I ain't know.
forehead. I feel like a
I think you
vein
was
was
big
popping
fat
out.
shit. I
Nah,
think
if
you was
you give me
And
no,
y'all
because
gotta
I'll
realize
still be
this.
just like this. The whole time be like
But
this.
y'all, I do want to say this. I do want to give this disclaimer for those of you who are still in the chat, those of you who are going to tap in later on. When we do these podcasts, it is strategic. So not everything that I say am I fully behind. There is some play here as far as representing different perspectives and things like that to be able to open the floor for the entirety of the conversation. And with that being said, I appreciate teachers for being with our kids more than we are most of the time. It is a hard job. It is a thankless job. It is difficult. And yeah, I think we need to do a better job of supporting them and we need to do a better job of having conversations with our children because this all can be alleviated by just having open communication across the board. So parents get involved, teachers get involved, and I hope everybody ends up well after this situation. Prayers for Jaq Lee and all the families involved. And yeah.
To the
Prayers
parent, to the
Yeah,
parents out
prayers for
there.
good
for the
luck. Prayers.
for the parents. They
To the
cool.
parents out
Yes.
there,
They the one
to the
fucking with
parents,
them,
for
Because the
real though.
parents are under backlash too. Man, you know what? You
which is
can't tell me who to pray
wild.
for. Thank you, Jesus. I'm gonna pray for who I want to pray for. I pray for all y'all. All y'all in the chat, I'm gonna pray for you too.
Hold on,
Jesus
what
loves
Kendrick
you. All
say?
right.
Hallelujah.
Hold on, what Kate I say? I'm gonna beat your ass and hide a Bible if God watching. That's what he said.
Oh
I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
man. Like I
JR,
said, y'all, these lives are
you
getting
gangster,
spicier and
you gangster
spicier. We
now.
can't hold it back. Oh my God. Y'all, thank
But
you for
not for real
coming
though.
out.
For real though, real quick, my bad.
Mhm.
Parents, stop. Actually, be parents, man. For the parents, y'all need to really do be parents and be just as involved as those teachers that do care when they see that the child is not being taught enough or being shown enough or being guided the right way as what they would think is
Yes,
not the right way. Parents do need to really be more involved, man. You can't just be a provider. You get what I'm saying? Really be there for your
absolutely.
kids because you are the reason why adults turn out the way they turn out. So you do have a real big impact.
Be the change that you want to see in the world, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, Life with G podcast, we out. Join us Tuesday, because we're not going to cancel this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I guess that's going to be the time that we're going to get it together. Join us for the next topic. If y'all have suggestions, feel free to hit us in the inbox for YouTube. Life with G Instagram is up and popping, and TikTok as well. Besos. Blessings. Everybody have a good night. And if anybody tells you that you can't, yes, the fuck you can. Bye.